Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel and this amazing video. I'm Aditya. In this video, we are going to do something interesting. So first we will type some article title here. Let's say creating a web app using Next 13 or let's say Next.js. And here we are going to say the category. The category is web development, then author. And here we will use Chat GPT to create content of our article. So here we could say create a 400 words article using the topic and the category as reference. Make sure to include all steps plus use correct markdown formatting. And then we click here generate. It starts generating, gonna take some time, and after it's generated we will see our content here. And there we go, we have our content here. If you're looking to develop a web application using Next.js is a great option to consider. Framework, getting started, then how we create an app, then adding pages, and so on and so on. So all this we will see using Next 13 and ChatGPT completion API. So without any further ado, let's begin. To begin with, we have a simple Next.js setup, Next 13 setup using app directory. And here there are some things changed here. Like previously there was head.tsx. It's still there, but I guess it's getting almost deprecated. So here we have a cleaner version where we have metadata. We export a variable known as metadata. There we provide our title and other things related to the head tag. So all of that is provided in the documentation in Next.js, like inside docs, API reference, metadata, everything is there. Now let's get started by having our basic setup. So here I have just some main tag, and we have some button component, input component, and label component. Now let's get started with the form. So we need to create a form where we will take title, and you can take more details, like you can take the author name, you can take the category, you can take one line description, and more than like anything you like. But here I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna take it like a category, and also I'm gonna make it more like a text category. But always you can pull the categories from database and put it over there, and then you can have the list of categories. So here I'm going to take a component which is blog form.tsx, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this component as client, because by default everything in app directory is server-side rendered or a server component. So we need to make sure that this component is a client component so that we can use those hooks that we need. So here I'm going to say use client. I think it's like this, use client, and tsrf, yeah, this one. There we go. And what do we need to do is create a form over here. So this is going to be a form tag, and here instead of blog form we will put some title and all those things, but here we will have the form groups, and also we need to use input, label, and other things. So let's create a form group here. So div dot flex dot flex call and space y of maybe 4. There we go. And here 4 is too much, maybe we will keep it 2, maybe 2. Yep. And here first we need to bring in these components, label and input. So let's import them. We can either do a lazy loading or we could do an eager loading. Your lazy loading we can do it with Next Dynamic, but for now let's do some eager loading. So here I'm going to say import input from input, label from label, and then here I'm going to say label, and here there will be for, this is for title, and here I'm going to say block title or article title, actually article title. Then we will have our input, that's going to be of type text, placeholder if we want, title here, and we need to put like a use state so that we can listen for the changes on this input. So let's create that as well. So here I'm going to say we will need from here actually, let's do use state, and here I'm going to make something like this, const blog form equal to use state. Now here there will be a title which is going to be blank by default. Then the content will be the article content that we will see in a moment, but tags, we don't need tags, but I'll keep the category. That's going to be a string again, and let's keep it and just add author. So you can also add more details depending upon what you have in your article. So of course you will need some image URL as well, but we'll keep it pretty simple for this one. So text, then placeholder, and here I will have on input. Then there will be a function. That function will set a value to this block. So okay, let's keep it in a separate function actually, or yeah, let's keep it in a separate function, handle title. So here we will have a function. Can we make it actually a reusable function? Okay, let's see. So here we have a key and we just need to set a key based on the value. Yeah, we can make actually a reusable function. So here I'm going to get a key that's going to be of type string. And what else do we need? Let's not say handle title, then let's say handle input, and then we have key and the value could be string again. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, using that, actually we will need to take it as an array because we will have set blog form, and here I'm going to say set blog form, whatever is the key, and just put that key. So what this is going to do is, let's say if the title already exists, then the spread operator is going to merge those two and give new value to our title. Okay, so in this case, let's say we have actually this, I'm not sure why this is put by Copilot. Oh yes, definitely, because yeah, no, Copilot is right. I'm wrong this time, because this is a dynamic variable. It's not a string, like literal string, like it's not like this. So that's why it has put around the square bracket. That's fine. So when we are setting up title, then this title, if it has some actual value, in this case blank value, which is considered as some kind of a value, so when we put a title over here, this will get merged and this title will override with the new value. So here what do we need to do is we will have a function, and that function will say handle input title. That's what we want to target here, and the content will be e.target.value, like this. Perfect. Here it's saying implicit any. Let's make it like this. Or the other way to do it is, if this is giving too much of trouble, you can simply put on input. We can put here a function that is on input, and that would be, instead of any, let's keep it e like this. I'll tell you how to get that actual type for that e. So here I'm going to say on input like this e, and here I will get the type. So it is kind of like a form event. So this is the type we want. So we can simply copy this type from here and paste it to here. Okay, so form event, it cannot find it. So what we could do it, we can get it, we need to get it from React, I guess. So import form event from React, and there we go. And then next we need to do is, here we can then pass this function, on input function. Okay, so we need to do something like this, either over here or either over here, wherever we like. Let's do it here. So that's pretty straightforward. So here we have on input function that's coming from the input actually, and then we can simply pass that function here. Okay, then here we just need to say e.target.value. We just need to put this, and here it says value does not exist on type event target. It should exist, but we'll see. Next thing, we need to put or bind the value here. So I'm going to say value is equal to blog form dot sorry, title, not value, title. So that will be here, and that's the title from here. Now here, to fix this, we can do a trick like this. So here we could say this e.target, treat this as HTML input element. There we go. And then it will be all fine. So that's our first form group. Now let me create quickly the other form groups and then we will proceed forward. Right. So our form is somewhat ready. So here I have, where is that? I have imported the button component. I have added it over here and plus some form groups for label, author, category and title. Great. Now we need to export this component so that we can use it outside or wherever we want. So export default block form. And then what we are going to do is we will import it inside our page.tsx over here. So here I'm going to say import blog form from components block form and simply paste it over here. Let's do this. Let's put a header or app bar so that we can have some spacing or it looks kind of tidy. So here class equal class name actually bg, let's put some gradient to right from sky 600 to purple 600, some random colors coming in my mind. So 16 and width of full. Great. And here we can have, okay, let's see how it looks like first. Okay, so we have the form here. We just need to squeeze it and make it right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say this form, make it of width of 1/2 and make it MX auto so that it comes exactly in the center. There we go. And from top we can put some empty of maybe 10. There we go. So that's our form. Now here, what? Oh, there is some border. We don't need a border on the input, so we can say border. Actually, on focus border should go off. Focus border 0. There we go. Perfect. So that's what we want. Now, next thing we want is the placeholder. I will change it in a moment. A text area where we get our generated content from using Chat GPT API or GPT 3.5 API. So what I'm going to do here is let's quickly change this placeholders. So category here, author here, and then here we will have text area. Now we can create a separate component for text area as we have created for input, or we can simply have it inside input component only and then tell it, okay, because the props are going to be pretty similar, just few things here and there, and we can just export it with this input. So here what I'm going to say is I'm going to say function text area. The purpose of making this as a separate component, I like to keep these things as a separate components. Is not necessary that you have to do it. It just makes it a bit cleaner. So here I need to take it. Let's do something like this. Let's take it from here. Then we will say like this, const classes. These are our basic classes. And here we will say, put this also dollar classes. And this is not actually a right way to do in React. This should go in a separate module, like something like this, like new file, then input.module.css, and then we have classes there, string in here, etc. But just I'm doing here a quick fix or quick kind of solution so that we can reach to the main focus as soon as possible. So here we have written text area. Now this is not a self-closing tag, it's something like this. That's great. We need the same thing over here. We can simply copy these from here like these and put it over here. Great. On input is on input. Okay, now fix this is here it is saying that it is on input because we are taking this as an input HTML element or HTML input element. I will say, okay, HTML input element as well as HTML text area element, and then the errors will go off. And here I'm going to say so what I'm going to do is I'll take this like this. So that's my function. Then I'm going to say input dot text area. That will be text area. And here I'm going to say import default text area, input. Then we can get the text area from this input.text area. I'll show you what do I mean. So here we can copy this from here, So that's our content. They can place the content here, and here I'm going to say input dot text area, and here remove the text because it doesn't need it. This will be content, this will be content, and this will be HTML text area element, then we have the value. Is it A capital? Yeah, it's A capital, that's right. And what do we need? We need to define the rows. Let's put it around 10 rows, or maybe 8. Let's see how it looks like. There we go. We have the text area over there. Great. Now also placeholder needs to be changed. I'm not sure why I'm not changing the placeholders. There we go. Perfect. So this is our text area, and everything is there. Now what we need is we need one more, actually, how can I say, an input to tell them, okay, you have a title, you have a category, that's great. Do you want some additional prompt to tell to Chat GPT? For instance, let's say I want to say this content should be 500 words, it should contain this, it should contain that, etc, etc, etc. So either you can use this text area as a prompt, which I think might get messy over the period of time, or we can create a new text area, or you could say like an input to get the prompt. So here I'll keep it as an input. So let's copy it from here and paste it over here. I'm gonna say, yeah, this title should get changed as well. Category, this should be for author, this should be for content, this should be for prompt. There we have prompt. Then this will be text prompt here. So we will take okay, this is a bit tricky. Let's take a separate variable for prompt. Let's keep prompt totally separate. Const prompt set prompt, that's going to be use state. We can, if you want to give its type, you can do it something like this. Then here we could say this will be prompt, and this will be, instead of handle input, this will be something like this. Set prompt, prompt prompt, then here and here, like that. Perfect. So that's our prompt. Now we need to show this prompt if and only if they want to generate this. Like you can show it always, like if you want to provide them option to always generate with GPT APIs, or we can give them an option. So here I'm going to take another use state. I'm going to say const show prompt, or show set show. That's actually good enough on this case. And here I'm going to say something like this. Actually, let's do it like this. Here I'm going to put a label, and I'm going to say show prompt to generate using Chat GPT. Okay, let's put some extra class name over here. Cursor pointer, underline offset of 2, decoration of slate maybe 200, and here we will have on click, and here we will do run a function which will just do set show to not of show. Okay, so if it's true, it will become false. If it's false, it will become true. And what we are going to do is we will render these two conditionally, this, and actually we can keep this so that if they want to hide it. So here actually we could do something like this. If it's show, then say hide, otherwise say show. So show prompt to generate using ChatGPT, hide prompt to generate using ChatGPT, something like that. And this we can do it something like this. Show, if it's there, then this, it should be something like this, otherwise it's gonna be just null. Okay. This we need to put it in a fragment because only one root at a time. So that would be something like this. There we go. Perfect. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, show prompt, and there we go. Perfect. That's what we want. Great. Now here we can put a button to generate it, or we can just, yeah, we need a button icon or something. So I'm using hero icons. So that's actually a good library. So here I'm going to say import, and I guess the icon name is something. This is what I want, arrow path. So arrow path icon. So here I'm going to say from hero icons 24 solid, I want this one, sorry, arrow path icon. There we go. So this icon, we can put it over here. So what we could do actually is we can keep this as it is, and this we can make it in a flex box. I'll tell you what do I mean. So here div.flex items center space x of 3, maybe something like this. The input will be there, and then the arrow path icon, this should be fill. There we go. And if we go back, so this we just need to make a width of full so that it goes all the way till there. So width of full, see where it goes. It haven't went anywhere. Okay, let's see. Let's put class name here, width of full as well. Width full. Okay, there we go. So this we need some thing on that. So here I'm going to say cursor pointer, and maybe we can make it slightly lighter, 400. There we go. Yes. So we click this and then send a request to our API route, get whatever we need, and just show it over here. Here I'm going to say npm install OpenAI. Now, before we use this OpenAI as well, this package in our code, actually, we can install it, but before we use it, we need to make sure we have an OpenAI key that you can get it from your OpenAI account. And once you get the key, you need to put it inside your environment variable. Make sure that key is never exposed to anyone or never shown to anyone, because that key is used for billing. That's why I'm not showing mine as well, but trust me, it's there in that env file. Now here, things are slightly changed in routing for API in Next.js. Now compared to pages folder where we have, or the old version where we have the pages folder and then the API folder inside that, or somewhere there, and we have the API routes, here we have things differently. Here we have the app folder and then the API folder, and then we have the API route folder name. So in this case, let's say I want to have an API something like this, just an example, something like this, /API/hello. Then my route should map to something like API folder. Then inside that there should be a hello folder, and inside that there should be a route.ts. And that route.ts, if this is a GET request, that route.ts should have this GET function. Okay, so what we are going to do is keep that hello for now, and here we can create a new folder. Let's say this is generate. Inside that generate, let's create route.ts, and inside that this route.ts, we need to export a function that's going to be an async function. Our route is going to be a post route. So here I'm going to say export async function post. That's going to take request, which is of type request. And then here we will get our data. So we need to send it in a form, or not in a form, with using fetch or Axios request. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say generate. Where is the generate one? Here. So once this is click, so not at click, actually it's on click, on click, here we have a generate function that we'll write in a moment, and that function will be here, function generate, not just like that, here. And here we'll make a fetch request to the API, and then we will just get our content. So here I'm gonna say fetch, then we will have API.generate. That's true. We will need the method of post. Body will be JSON.stringify, And here we need to send the block form, the entire block form if we want to. I'll just send it and we will send the prompt. Okay. Once we get that, we will receive a response that we need to convert to JSON, and then we will get something more that will be our data that we will need it here. Okay, so response.json implicitly has type any. I guess I have messed up a bit. Yeah, so this should be outside. Sorry, yeah, over here. Sorry about that. There we go. So this will give us our content, and we can close this for now. Let's also restart the server, npm run dev, and this should be, there are some small errors, post, and I did some wrong here. Yeah, this should be HTML4, not for. It's JSX syntax. This should be HTML4 like this. Great. Now from here we'll be sending the response that we are sending, and let's get the body parameters. Now here, to get the body parameters, you do const, let's say body equal to await request.json. Now this is web API request, so this is how you get the body parameters in web API request. So we have the body and then request.json, and then we will get the actual content sent from frontend. So let's do console it, console.log body and whatever body is being sent. And now if we go back here, I have some text over here. Let's try to generate. There, something went back, and here we go. We have some text here. Perfect. So after that's done, actually I saw one thing weird. If you notice that there's a white space over there. Okay, I just need to make overflow hidden on the, or overflow auto on the page over here. So I need to do something like this, overflow auto, and that should be fine. Let's give it a try. Okay, now we have it. That's great. Go forward. So once we have over here, so we need to, inside the route, we need to call the OpenAI function. So here I'm gonna say, now you can create a class to configure OpenAI, or you can just write it, what I'm doing right now, from OpenAI. So here, oh sorry, import, actually I'm not saying, I'm not sure why I did that. So import and then configuration actually, and there is something actually we need. Let me just read the docs, that would be way simpler. So if I go to chat completion, and inside here we have API reference completions. If we see the Node.js version, yeah, OpenAI API, this is what I want. So this, we just need to take it from here like this. We will put it over here like this. This will be OpenAI API. So this will be OpenAI key. That's what I'm calling for my env. Great. Now here we have chat completion. Actually need a chat completion. So chat completion, this one we want. So set the node one. This will remain as it is, the first few lines. This is what we will change. Perfect. So we have the create chat completion, and here we are using the model GPT 3.5 Turbo. GPT-4 has released, but it's not available to all the users through API, only to some users. Eventually we'll get there, but for now we will have to pass some things over here. So here I'm going to say, do the same thing that I did for our next video. If you haven't seen my next video on creating a business focused chatbot, I have did something similar there. So here I'm going to say const conversations, or I will gonna do let conversations convo, actually that would be easy. So we need to pass the set of messages here. So the first one will be role of system, and here content will be you are a virtual assistant for content creation. You will be provided. So these are just prompts with some pointers based on which you need to create a blog article body. Great. Now that's over there. Then we need a user instruction that will come over here. Generally, it's good to pass, if you're using GPT 3.5, it's good to pass the instruction in the user because the system one are not taken that seriously. So content. And here, what do we need to do is, so we will be passing the title, the category, and the prompt. Okay. So here I'm going to say create. Okay. Let's use the template syntax so that we can use create a blog article for me based on these parameters. Okay. So then I'm going to say here the topic is title. Okay. Then we have the category is the category. Author we can pass or we cannot. We don't have to. That's totally optional. And then some extra prompt. Or we can say prompt, not prompts. What should we call this? Let's say we call it something like, okay, that's what we have. And then we will say the prompt. Okay. Body dot prompt. Okay. And here we will get a message or our completion. But for that, we need to pass the conversation here, convo. So that's going to be this one. This is going to throw an error saying that this is not of chat completion request kind of thing. What we could do is we can create our type here. Type message will be role and content. And here we could say this is of message like this. And if it still exists, then we just need to get this from here over here, and we just need to say that this is like this. Like this. Perfect. So then this is what we need to pass to the front end. So here I'm going to say return new response, and this is what we need to pass. Okay, so completion dot whatever we just copied here. Okay, completion dot match choices, and then the message. Okay, am I missing some extra things? Yeah, one round bracket here. There we go. Then we can catch that over here and just console that for now. Console.log data. Okay, so let's give it a try. So let's refresh this. Let's see in the console side by side, what do we get? So here I'm going to say Python programming, just random topic coming in my mind. Category programming. Aditya, create a 500 words article. Make sure to put correct markdown formatting, just in case if we want the markdown content, and we just render it. Gonna take a bit of time. We can add some animation here, like a spinner or something that will go like just circle kind of thing till we are getting our like a pending request kind of thing. I think it has went back. Let's see. Let's send it again. Yeah, we will definitely need that. We just need to make sure that it's going back to the server and we are getting some response out of it. There we go. We have the content. So we just need to focus on the content. So data.content, and there we will have our article, and we just put it over here. So let's do those pending states as well. So here I'm going to say const. We can add it over here actually, or no need actually. Let's take something like this. Pending set pending equal to use state of boolean, and that will be false. Now here I'm going to say once the request goes, so set pending to be true. And once the response is received, set pending to be false. And we will need the content. So here I'm going to say set block form. And here we will do the same trick, or we can just pass this function over here. And the input here, I'm going to say content and data.content like this. Okay. And what else do we need? Yeah, that's fine. And here we just need to switch the class. Where is that? Here. So this is, we just need to do something like this here. So take it from here, put it here, put these things over here without these brackets. And then over here, I'm going to say, if it's pending, then put the class of animate spin. Great. Okay. Let's give it a try now. But let's do Nux 3 development, web development, Aditya, create a 100 words article. Let's be generous, 300 words article. Make sure to put correct markdown formatting. Okay, generate. Now it will keep on running, and once we get our content, we should see that over here once this stops. There we go. Here we have our correct markdown and everything is said how to do it. So you can always edit this and make your own article out of this, but for now we have something really good. So that's all in this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you feel this video is worth sharing with your network, please do share with your network. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. So see you in the next video. Till the next time, goodbye.